Barbara Harvey, and I'm speaking for the Center for Women's Ministries, and I have been involved in this ministry for a little over 20 years. My background that made me fully interested in this ministry is one of a mental health problem in my own family, starting when I was about 4.5 years old. And I am very interested in helping hurting women. This ministry is very solidly based on spiritual material, and there is a training package that has been very thoughtfully produced to help lay ministries carry out this purpose for hurting women in the world. And I have learned a lot from it that helped my own spiritual journey, but it also my professional life as a professional counselor and as a pastor, because everything that is in this package is part of what is in the world, and you will see in whatever profession you have. And so we learn back and forth. I've learned from it, and it's learned from me. And it's been very valuable, and I have worked in a particular center for 20 years, doing a group there, trying to help them with this whole process of helping hurting women.
I'm Jerry Odehall. I'm a pastor. I've been in ministry for 30 plus years. My first exposure to the Center for Women's Ministries was in Du Bois County with the Du Bois County Center for Women's Ministries. I went to a meeting of pastors, and at that particular time I was an investment banker, and went and heard Joanne Rhodes speak about what the center's for, and they gave me a statement of faith. And as a pastor, I was sitting there listening to Joanne and looking at the statement of faith and going down those things and saying, yeah, I believe that, I believe that, I believe that. And so when I left, I called my wife and I said, we have got to get involved in this ministry. And they were a stand alongside ministry for the church I was pastoring. We were doing divorce care, and they came along and helped us to do divorce care for kids, which was a real ministry for divorced people who have children. I have continued my relationship with Center for Women's Ministries in Grayson County, Indiana, or Grayson County, Kentucky, excuse me, where I now pastor. Was involved in a community assessment to determine what the issues we were facing as a church in Grayson County, and coming to some pretty grim statistics about the area we were pastoring in, recognized the need for a ministry that addressed the needs of women. And so I called Joanne, and she came down and did an overview with us on what the center was all about and how we could get one started. We had a community meeting, got it involved, got a lot of people from the community involved with a lot of different churches that were involved. And it's supported by the Kentucky Baptist and the Grayson County Baptist Association, the Grayson County Ministerial Association, and I think there's like 15 different churches involved in the center, and it is a real stand alongside ministry for me as a pastor. You know, it's difficult for a man to counsel women, and yet the Centers for Women's Ministries is a stand alongside where I can refer women to, knowing that they're going to get biblical counseling, that they're going to get prayed for, that they're going to get that kind of help that they need to address the issues that are exclusive to women. So I would highly recommend you look at this ministry for what it can do for you as a pastor of a church, and not only that, what it can do for the communities that you serve. Thank you.
I'm Megan Durloff. I am the director at Du Bois County Community Corrections, and I have been with Community Corrections since about 2010. And during that time, one of the first groups of volunteers that I met were women from the Center for Women's Ministries here in Du Bois County. And they came in with just a heart to want to help the people who were here, and especially our women, and just wanted to share the love of God and let people know that they were loved and that they had people to support them if they had needs or cares or concerns that they needed to share with someone else. And in doing that, I think that our women got a lot of peace from just realizing that there are other women in this world who have been through some really rough things as well. And they could relate to the things that they were saying and the things that they had also been through, but yet they were coping with it in a healthy way and learning to rely on God as their kind of their lighthouse, and helped them really find direction. And so the Center for Women's Ministries, for me, initially was just a way for our women to get help and fellowship and support from other women in the community. But then it eventually turned more into a way for them to develop also relationships that could be sustained once they were released. They were being invited to church. They were being invited to Bible study. And those types of relationships are the ones that are going to keep our clients from coming back to us. And that's our number one goal. In addition to that, from an evidence-based standpoint, we want to be providing our clients with curricula that is proven to work, and help our women develop skills to keep them from coming back to us. And in the Center for Women's Ministries, where the ladies were bringing in programs that were manualized programs that doctors had written, and really well-known people in the faith have written, and have seen amazing results from people going through these types of Bible studies. And for me, when I'm looking at what kind of curriculum I want to offer to my residents, I want it to be something that I know works, and that's what they were choosing to bring to us, which was really helpful in my decision as well. In the meantime, the volunteers who come help us with the Center for Women's Ministries, like Michelle, they don't realize it, but they're ministering to the work release participants and also to us as a staff, and they're just amazing.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Michelle Shanetsky. I'm one of the volunteers for the Center for Women's Ministries here in Du Bois County. I've been with the ministry for, I think, 4 years now. I started out as a receptionist training, just going to do the receptionist stuff, and they asked me to go into the local jail, and so I went, and I absolutely loved it, and I've been doing that for 3 years now. So we're in the local jail, and we're over here too sometimes. I have just seen women's lives completely change, just completely. It just blows me away that, going from darkness to light is just, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, to see the light go on in these women's lives, and to go out and their families are changed, their kids, they get their kids back. It's just, there's just nothing like it, and I love being a volunteer for this ministry. I just love it. Thank you.
Yeah, I truly believe the Lord put the Center for Women's Ministry in my path. I had been to many doctors where I had to keep going over the beginning of my story. There was no lesson in healing, only someone to write my prescriptions. I was worried to go to another place just to see somebody different every appointment. Then it was suggested to me I may find something that would be helpful here at the Center for Women's Ministry. I had fought with the devil for so many years. I didn't see knowing any different. I bowed to abuse, believing, at least they're thinking of me, how I needed to be a better person for them. I was a hollow-shelled woman. I didn't have faith I would be accepted for who I was. Believed I wasn't worth saving. I was so absorbed in pleasing others I never stopped long enough to think about God. Yes, I periodically prayed for God to help me, but it was again for me to help be a better person for the others. I was frightened to open the door to the center. Who would want someone like me? I had a lifetime of problems, but I was greeted at the door with a kind welcome, my whole body tight, ready for someone to tell me they didn't have the time for me. But then there was a following. There I was following a woman with a warm smile to a private room, soft lighting with a comfortable setting. All she had to say was, "What can I do to help?" I don't know what happened, but I began to talk. And I kept talking. For hours I talked. She listened. She had a kind, intentful air. Every time I looked up, she seemed to be understanding. Like she knew what I was feeling. That evening when I finally stopped, she told me she had the perfect person for me. When I came to meet her, she seemed to be a frail, older woman. I didn't see how she would know where I was coming from. At the end of one session, she asked if she could pray with me. She took my hands. She took my hands. I cried, my whole body shook. She was the strongest woman I ever knew. Her name was Sandy. There my life began again. I learned I was worth the love of God. I gained my strength back. So strong, I pushed away abuse. I found I could stand on my own feet. I began to believe in the steps she took me through. How can I give things washing down on my life over to God? I gotta do that again. How can I give things weighing down on my life over to God? I put on the armor of God. You'll know you are protected. The wonderful woman guiding me passed away. It was a full year later that I came to feel a calling to come back. It was her bringing me back. I opened that door and immediately I was home again. I felt her all around me. I felt the love of God wash over me. I wanted to do everything I could to help others. I gained more and more wonderful memories every day. Join me.